Hi guys, it's Oda, your energy customer service rep from Chicago, and Dr. Vicky, and it's time for a little moonshine or a lot
Oh,
of
no.
moonshine.
Yeah, depending on your tolerance to such things, I
We
guess.
roll through this like energetic mess. We were talking about the full moon in Leo that is occurring in the morning, Wednesday, February 12th. It will be at 7:53, so almost 8 o'clock Central Standard Time at 24 degrees of Leo, the sun opposite it at 24 degrees of Aquarius. And what's in the middle, Dr. Vicky?
Uranus, right like this, right? Just like
Right
that.
at the angle. Okay. Right at the angle is more surprising energy. And now it has like a Pluto power pack
Yeah.
connected to it, right? Because Pluto is in Aquarius and Aquarius is ruled by. I have not had a great experience with this. And I've been talking a lot about sage and really that sort of intense burning away that really redirects you. And I'm sticking to that for sure. I've also taking a very strong relationship to rosemary. I grow it, but I don't eat very much. So it's like you can't put it in your coffee, right? So,
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you probably could, but so rosemary came in very strongly. And then I looked it up in this book. I'll show you the reference in a second. For rosemary, the zodiac signs that it's sort of connected to are Aquarius, Aries, Leo, Sag, and Virgo. So we got like 2 out of 5 there, right? And the
Uh,
solar system that rosemary is connected to is Mercury, the moon, and the sun. Dr. Vicky, what's happening with Mercury and the sun?
it's a conjoined, right? We have a conjunction of the Sun and Mercury, but it's a superior conjunction, meaning that if I'm Earth and this is the sun, Mercury is on this side of the sun.
Right.
And so for us, it almost acts like an opposition. And that gives us a perspective that we don't generally have with Mercury and the sun because they can't really ever be opposite each other.
Yeah.
They can only be a certain amount degrees away from each other in an astrological chart anyway. Um,
We've got Mercury, the planet of communication, next to the sun. The moon is opposite you because that's how why it's like so big and round and cool because the sun's shining directly on.
yeah.
And in the middle there, we've got Uranus, who's kind of been a dick.
Well, Uranus is here to upset the status quo. Uranus is here to upset the status quo. And the status quo in Taurus is money and land. One of the reasons why we're having all these earthquakes. They're telling people in the Aegean to get the hell out of there because there's those clusters of earthquakes in Santorini. There was an earthquake, a big one in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
There's been, and I don't, I know it's earthquake stuff, and I'm not really a conspiratorial sort of person, but I think that, with all I think that there is something going on with maybe extraterrestrials and the a lot of the water ones, not like in the sky, but in the water.
Well,
And I know that they're doing like some sort of work in the Gulf of Mexico with sound and animal, like they're putting these sound waves because they're testing something. So, you know, there's all kinds of possibilities here. It's hard to know
Yeah.
what's
The
what.
full moon in general does make an impact on the barometric pressure. We know about tides, talk to any fisherman, that kind of thing, right?
Oh
So
yeah, sure. I mean, it's high emotion,
that's a
high
direct
tide.
impact. That's a
Right.
direct earth.
Yes. Yes, yes. So tsunami, that could be tsunami, right? Associated with the earthquakes. So this is a powerful time. I mean, we're in the middle of it. We feel it. We feel the uprising. I mean, one of the reasons why we're freaking out so much is because we feel like everything that we've ever like been able to depend on is getting somehow eviscerated or destabilized. That people are feeling very unstable right now.
Yeah,
And it's in the stars. So really the only thing we can do is, like we were saying before we got on, make I'm okay, okay, my kids okay, okay, my house okay, okay, my neighbors okay, okay. Right? Just go down the list of
yeah,
the okays and
yeah. That basic, honestly,
yeah.
because that's how you sort of get back into focus of all the bombardment. Because what they want you to do is to get used to that mental chaos, that constant feed of doom and dread. They are loving your reaction to it.
Mhm.
That's the point.
That's true.
That's the point.
That's true.
And I'll tell you what, it's freaking challenging. It's freaking challenging. But then you have to go back down to, okay, am I hungry? Can I just like, I need to like have some cheese or, I just,
Unfortunately, when
what
that
is my
question,
basic need right now?
unfortunately, when that question is asked of me, I often say yes too many times. But
Well, it's not about, it's like, honestly, I'm doing really good with eating sweets and stuff like that, but sometimes I have to run down to the get some chocolate downstairs because it's a bit much. It's a
yeah,
bit much. If I start feeding myself that way when things are a bit much, then I'll cut it off when things are better. I don't know. I wanted to point to the reference I was using for the Rosemary and for this full moon, which is the snow moon, chase moon, quickening moon, storm, wild wolf. There's a bunch of names, right? We are getting snow.
yeah, I think we're getting snow too. If this is the snow moon, right? It's called the snow moon.
It's the snow moon. And that same feeling of a protective blanket over the Chicago, and it's going to be the full moon and it's a snow moon, is a feeling of protection.
Yeah.
You know that day when the snow, you woke up and you were doing your video and it was like crunchy snow, the big storm. It was so peaceful,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
peaceful. And that's really helpful. And then I got Obsidian because I've been kind of needing to get energy that's negative, focused, and centralized in one place. So I could just swipe by or, do something and put it back in the sun uh, on a regular. And I think I have smaller pieces, but this is more the one that really heats up in my hand.
Yeah.
So that's,
And of course, obsidian is protective.
it's lava stone.
Yeah. Yeah. It absorbs negativity, but obsidian does force you to look at your shadow.
Yeah.
It's not without its cost, but of course, that is what we're here to do. We're here to uncover the shadow and bring the light in.
Yeah.
And, it's
What can this full moon, what would you put on a piece of paper on an altar for this full moon?
that's a good question. To maybe open our hearts to the change.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm in more of a fight mode.
I know. Well, that's why I'm a Cancer and you're a Capricorn, darling. We're opposite signs. We're gonna,
Let's kick some ass.
yeah. Either way, you're kicking ass. So,
Is on my altar paper for this full moon because it's it's really a time when you're going to see that everything that you know and what you believe and what you've been thinking about, what you know is going to be uncovered. The sun is conjunct this freaking Mercury. Okay.
yeah.
So even more like, oh my God, right?
Right. And Uranus is squaring Mercury as well. And that happened actually exactly yesterday. Today is the sun square Uranus, and tomorrow is the full moon. So this whole series of days,
Yeah.
you can just add them up. It's all the same energy.
Yeah.
And it's breaking free of the old ways, really. And to like really sort of, if we can't break out now, we'll never be able to break out because it's a jailbreak and we get to get out of jail too.
I, you
So,
know what, I agree, but I feel like they are pulling away the placenta before the baby is developed. Like this could have been something that was well thought out, well cultivated, definitely
oh
need.
yeah, but that's never been what that's about. It's never been what that's about.
And he comes in and like rips.
Smash and grab. It's smash and grab. That's what it is. That's all it is. That's all it's ever been. For
Yeah,
him, and also probably, which if I think we know who we're talking about,
yes,
fellow 47 and Musk. It's smash and grab. They don't care what the hell alternatives. They get the little nugget of whatever it is they're looking for. And Trump has that Mars in Leo.
yeah,
And what's his name? Muskrat has his South Node in Leo, so he comes in with a sense of entitlement
yeah.
that he's owed everything. Like he's the super genius. He's the one who's going to get us to Mars. He's no who the fuck. Oh, I don't want to go to Mars. Do you want to go to Mars? I don't want to go to Mars.
I don't think that
I'd be okay
would,
sending him to Mars, but no, leave
yeah,
me alone and let me grow some like
I'm
dates.
not worried about that. I'm not worried about like what that's gonna, what like all of that kind of thing is gonna actually come to fruition because this is gonna end before,
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Ha! Yeah, absolutely.
right?
Absolutely. But part of the reason it ends is because we say no.
Yeah,
No, no, sorry. Sorry, buddy. No. Mm-mm.
yeah. And it'll be all right. It's not happening as quickly as we want it to be, but it's gonna happen.
The problem, Ona, honestly, is I could see the other side of this. I could feel it. I knew we were already there, but we decided that we had to do it the way we're doing it, and whatever that means. Because it's not just you, it's not just me, it's not what I want, it's not just what you want.
Yeah.
But it's, at what level is the collective to waking up? I honestly, America is very self-involved, I think. I know. And, sometimes you're the last person to like get it. When you're too self-involved, you're like, what? Oh, there are other people in the room. What? You don't like what I'm doing? You don't love me? You
It's gonna get hard to dodge people that this is not impacting.
Oh,
Like you can go home and be in denial of every single thing that you know, that's the truth. But you might have a coworker, you know what I mean? And you gonna just walk right by. I mean, it's just honestly, this whole thing is starting to get me all worked up, and I haven't had a chance to really think about it, and I wanted to.
okay, I'm going to stop now. Do
So
you want to
look,
look at the do you want to look
let's
at the
look at the
chart?
chart. Let's look at the chart. 'Cause it's like it's really intense, and I have enough intense things going on, but I think about getting along and trying to get people to wake up, and as they do, how painful it is and stuff like that. They will always dodge the people that will hold the belief that makes them feel safe, right? So they will, anybody that doesn't have that, they start to filter away. But as they get closer to all the people that this is going to impact, it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard. This is not, I don't know. Anyway, that was my train. So here's the full moon.
Yes.
Here's the full moon. Jibbles, I think, agrees. And you see where that red triangle there, the bottom of it points down to Uranus, who already looks like a satellite dish and is kind of doing one of those things out to there. This is where I think people can understand that these earthquakes and volcanoes and stuff happen because Uranus is in Taurus.
Mhm.
That's the Earth, and it changes, right? There's so many things that have happened with the planets and the nodes and everything recently that it's a
Well,
lot.
it's all happening, all of that is happening right at this cusp, right? Between Pisces and Aries.
So
This
that would be
this
what
is
like the
the
rising.
end. Hmm?
That would be like the rising chart or what we're trying to be or how the world sees you. The rising part ruled by Mars, who is backwards right now.
Right, but this is like the energy of this year is all invested in the back and forth between the Pisces energy, which is the imagination, and
Yeah,
the Aries energy, which is emergence of consciousness. And so what you focus on becomes your reality.
yeah,
So what do you want to focus on through this period? Because you have the power of co-creation. And
yeah,
so it's important, like for me, I still feel like I have to know what's going on because I feel like I have a duty to the people who watch me that I have some idea of what's going on in the outer world so I can come up with, like, well, this, Jupiter's doing this or Saturn's doing this and come to a broader understanding of the energy and the experiences they're having. But I don't focus on that world. I don't believe that world of destruction, death, destruction. Maybe I'm just, pie eye in the sky, but it's where I kind of have to
yeah.
look.
I do like
And
I got a sense of it, but it doesn't give me that like, oh, I've got to pay attention to this right now. It feels like, or maybe this is the way I've sort of compartmentalized it. It feels like I'm listening to the National Enquirer live,
yeah, well, you kind of are. It's Survivor. It's like it's just
right?
it's reality TV is what it is.
It kind of
And
is.
and and
Yeah.
it and are you gonna tune in? Because it's not it's the reaction he gets. The more you react, the more energy he gets.
Right.
So it's about becoming non-reactive to a certain extent. So
I
the other
see.
chart, I do have the chart for, I think here, let me just double check. Is this Washington? This is the same chart, but for Washington, D.C. It's
Yeah,
not
this
that
is easy.
different because it's an Aries rising chart as well. So Mars is the ruler of this chart for
Yeah,
this full moon, and Mars is retrograde. And at just about it goes back to seven, it's at 18 degrees right now. It goes back to 17 and then it turns around on the 23rd, which is just what, 11 days from
very
the
cool.
12th,
Yeah.
right? And then it starts to move forward. And it's trine Saturn. Where's Saturn? I can't find Saturn. I can't find Saturn. Where'd Saturn go? Oh, so there, see, it's trine Saturn. That's powerful. That's also manifesting. That's Saturn makes things real. And this is a wave. This is a tidal wave that we're gonna, everybody talks about the wave, the blue wave and the red wave and the purple wave and whatever other kind of wave. The wave is now,
Literally.
and it could actually be a tsunami.
Yeah, I was gonna say literally like in the ocean, that kind of energy is,
Yes,
and this is what we all know that the full moon affects the tides,
that's right.
that it directly affects the earth, the barometric pressure. What do you think is going to happen?
You know what? I wonder if I can do a chart for Santorini. Hold on, let me see
See if
if I
you could
can.
pull one up. That would be really cool.
Yeah,
That is like right
that
now.
full moon in Santorini, but I don't know, is there like a city in Santorini? Because it's an island. Maybe just Santorini. I'll just put Santorini. I'll see
You
if I
know what? It probably is small enough to have its own zip code.
the Santorini, probably Greece, right? Okay, let me
Yeah. Here,
check.
let's, you could bring that over here.
I just have to get to the spot.
Just
All right.
want to take a look because this is where we, if you were wanted to track something that you is kind of related, honestly, this is very active right now and will probably start showing up on your feed as soon as you say Santorini out loud. But it's like, it feels honestly, when the whole thing started to just sort of bubble, I'm like, oh God, I told my cousin, we got to get to Italy before and Greece. I said we should go to Greece before it turns into Pompeii.
Oh God, no kidding, right? All right, I can't do it this way. I just need to look up Santorini. I'm sorry, it's taken me.
You're ready.
Santorini.
Yeah, take a look at it and for this full moon to definitely pull the energy of negativity, I think would be really strong. I think the rosemary, you can also, and you're like, oh, I don't have rosemary anything. Yeah, you do in your kitchen cabinet. You got it.
Yeah, yeah, and even if you just get a plant of rosemary, just crushing the leaves and smelling helps you with your memory.
Yeah.
It clears your mind, and
Essential
it's good
oil.
for also good for respiratory, I think.
Yeah, it's one of those all-inclusive antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal kind of things that I'm thrilled that my plant has survived. I've never been able to grow one before, but over here I can, and I love it. And the tincture was on sale. So, okay, I'll take it. Let's get this like ball rolling because it's also a nice complement to the sage thing.
Okay,
I
so
really do feel a strong pull about a reset, you know,
oh shoot, I did the wrong one. I'm sorry. Hold on.
that we need to like kind of do because it seems to be the natural occurrence of things was all those people were pardoned. I know Blagojevich was pardoned this morning.
Oh, was he? Jeez.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe we need to be pardoned from this nightmare.
All right. I'm sorry. I have to.
Hey, don't worry
I don't
about
know
it.
what is
Well, yeah,
going.
if you guys want to look up or you want to focus on something that is, exclusive to some of these energies that we're talking about, focus on that because there's a lot of activity there and there's, things you can time and see patterns with. So this full moon's going to be intense. I'm not kidding.
Right.
And we're getting like a big snowstorm too, right?
I'm gonna do it right now. I'll have it. I'll have it for you. Okay, sorry about that. I just because I did an Aries rising chart, it kind of messed me up. So we weren't we were just gonna see the same chart because we didn't have a
That's okay.
um
Yeah, that's all right.
okay, so here's Santorini. It's actually Thera, I guess.
It's
And in Greece, I haven't looked
it's
that up.
still a full moon chart for DC.
It's
Oh no, it is.
no, it's not. It's
It's
Greece.
Greece. You're right.
It's
Right,
Greece.
right. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay, but it's not that different. It's because it's probably at the same latitude.
Yeah. Okay. So there's like you can check the track the traffic here too, I guess, because it is not that different.
Right. Yeah.
Interesting.
Although it's not the exact full moon. I don't know what's going on with my computer. Sorry about that. All
No,
right.
it's not. Yeah.
It's okay though.
No,
It's
but it's
probably
actually
close
close
enough.
enough. If the sun's at
Close enough.
23 and the moon's at 20, so that is always surrounding the full moon energy. I mean, it's exact when it's exact, but this is probably look more like right now, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, sure. I mean,
It's
it's happening now. All of this is happening now.
yeah,
So again, it's like this, bing, 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 bing.
yeah.
And when I was doing Taroscopes for the month, this month pretty much was like a just like you have to just sort of let things happen because you don't have any control anyway.
This was a breather month between January and March.
That's what I called it. And if this is what a breather feels like, next month is going to be very interesting. Next month we have eclipses,
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
last day of the month, or second to the last day of the month, Neptune goes into Aries. The last time
In
Neptune
February or March.
in March, the end of March.
Yeah,
Oh,
so that's
I'm
a
sorry, the
big
end of
difference.
March. Sorry. See, as an astrologer, you kind of have to look ahead, and so I don't know what day it is most of the time.
I know you got to look ahead. That's the hardest thing for me to say, oh, in a couple of days when Mars, there are certain things that are significant and important, but to follow and track that for each time, the generations moved and Pluto moved and its conjunction to Saturn, all of these things that happen, that's a lot. It's a lot and predicting what can happen in the future based on the pattern you've seen in the past.
Right, and it's always up to free will.
And I
Like,
upgrade.
right? It's really the thing that astrology does is it just describes the energy at hand. And if you can utilize that energy to, in ways, it's better to know. It's better to know.
Yeah.
We're gonna start a whole new consciousness soon, and we just have there's a lot of things we have to loosen away and let loose from in order for us to be ready for the new consciousness. And it's really going to, because it's Aries with Saturn and Neptune moving into Aries and conjoining at that first degree, it's your authentic self. It's your I am consciousness. It's your direct connection to source that's activated at that time. And so we need to be ready. And, just like if you're going to do the Olympics, you better learn how to swim, right? You got to, certain things you're going to have to do.
Yeah. All right. So I'll show you the altar when I finally have it all sort of assembled. And this full moon is one you're probably never going to forget. I'm thinking it's going to be pretty
I'm
interesting.
thinking you might be right, darling.
And the issues and intentions for this full moon per this reference is the astral realm asks for it to come in, right? To banish, we got that covered with the obsidian, beginnings, empowerment, fertility, and purification. Okay,
Sounds about right.
that
Sounds
sounds like a good package. And always in full moon, in Leo moon spirit, is to be creative, enjoy the playful side, The Leos are funny, make yourself laugh, and the next day you'll wake up. Okay,
Yeah.
that's wonderful. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. And we'll see you soon.
We will. Mystic Sisters.
Saturday.
Saturday, what day is that?
That
The
day is going to be on the 15th.
Mystic Sisters on the 15th on my channel, Victoria Scerbo. And we'll have another fun evening.
Yeah.
Fun was had by all.
Wrapping up some of the stuff that actually happened during this full moon. So this is going to be good. Thank you. Thank you so much. Love you guys. And we'll see you soon.
Namaste.